is electric.
Hi everyone, welcome back for another energy related video, and today I wanted to do a follow-up on the unboxing video that I did for this AFERY, I think it's AP-210 is the model number. I'm not sure what that refers to, but it's a 2400 watt output, 2 kilowatt hour storage device. So it's AFERY. In the unboxing video I wasn't too enthusiastic about it, that the plastic seemed a little bit cheap, and some of the side flaps here didn't fit very well. As you can see, they do fit now because I took a file to the edge of the catch and just filed it down slightly, and that's much better. The plastic handles creak a bit, the plastic's a little bit cheap, but I've got to say, now that I've had time to use it, I'm a little bit of a fan, and I've used the box quite a lot. So let's talk about what's good and what's bad about it, and what you might consider if you're thinking about buying a portable battery solar power station of this sort of size. Well, spec wise, it compares to the EcoFlow Delta 2 Max, so it's 2 kilowatt hours of storage, 2.4 kilowatts of power output, AC output. It's got the usual USBs on the front. It's got some 3 power sockets UK, 3-pin power sockets on the side. It's got the XT90 solar connection, and it's also got a higher power XT60 output rather than input on the front as well, which might be handy if you're capable of wiring it up for something. So that's quite good. Tiny little storage bin on the front. I think that's a bit of a chocolate teapot. I'm not sure if that's much use at all. But for me, the big thing about this is not necessarily the specs. It's the fact that it's easy to use and it seems reliable. So I've tried it now with my lawnmower, which the All Powers S2000 didn't work with. It's only a 1400 watt lawnmower, but it probably has a motor that peaks higher when it starts up. This powered it no problem. The All Powers S2000 didn't. So that was a win for this. My chainsaw, 2 kilowatt chainsaw. It powered that as well from this, as you see in the video. So that all worked well. The only device that I found that it couldn't power was my 2 kilowatt pressure washer. Now those, obviously under pressure, they have a pump and a motor, and there's a much higher startup power level, so I didn't actually expect it to work. That was more of a test to see how it failed. Now with the All Powers that I've had before, the S1500, when I overloaded it and put too much power onto it, the inverter crapped out, failed. So that's not very good at all. So that left me with not too much confidence on the All Powers devices, so best to keep within the levels. Whereas with an EcoFlow battery, you plug what you like in within reason, and all the overload protection that's in there stops it from failing and blowing up the inverter. The AFERY seems to be about the same. I've plugged in several things now that have overloaded it, several attempts at going over the peak, and it just comes up with an error message, beeps at you, and away you go, and then power the next thing afterwards. So it seems quite reliable. So everything else it powers. The overload protection works extremely well. But the portability is really good. The EcoFlow batteries have these odd handles at the side where I tend to find I'm holding it from 1, not 2, to carry. Whereas with this one, I don't carry it the same way. Instead of one handle at the side, I carry it with both, and they seem more round and more ergonomic. So actually carrying this device seems easier from the handle point of view, even though they creak a little bit from the cheaper plastic. And maybe it's a little bit less weight as well. I'm not quite sure, so I'll put the weights on the screen in case I'm imagining it, but this seems more portable than the bigger EcoFlow. So I'm very pleased with this. So it's got the power, it's got the storage, it's quite practical on carrying. It's still a heavy beast, so you know, if you're not very good at carrying heavy things, then these probably aren't for you. At the moment I've got it configured and wired up with an All Powers 400 watt solar panel. It's a sunny day today, as you can see. It's quite bright, quite hazy though as well, and I think this is showing about 250 watts that we're pulling into the battery at the moment. So I'm here charging my tablet and phone later on. I've got a laptop to download this video to and try and edit it, and an air fryer to cook lunch as well. So that's what all this is doing. So for me personally, this is how the battery is going to be used out in the car, out in the wild, connected with solar, charging a variety of things. I also use it around the house and home to use it in the garden rather than an extension lead. It's good as a UPS device as well, so there's lots of positivities about this. The thing that surprised me the most is the smallest thing that I find really good. So with the power button, you press and hold it on for a few seconds and it comes on. Then with other type devices like the EcoFlow, you have to press and hold the AC button or the DC button for a few seconds as well to get the AC or DC outputs to work. With this, it's just the power button for 1 or 2 seconds. Then the AC and DC button is just one touch and it comes on. It's such a small thing, but having to wait longer for each button and to get the number of seconds wrong, so you have to do it again, etc. This just seems more responsive and easier to use. So I quite like the buttons on this, and it makes a very practical way of using it and a very pleasurable way of using it. The downside to this battery, as far as I can see, there's a couple really. It's slower charging than the EcoFlow. This charges on AC at 1100 watts. Some batteries can go higher. For me, that's not a problem. 1100 watts is actually really good, but solar input is only 500 watts, which for a battery of this size and configuration is not really enough. So I think I got it right. I think it's 500, but if it's different, I'll stick it on the screen. So with the EcoFlow, it's either 800 watts or 1000, a kilowatt of solar power. So if you've got a system like this and you're using it for being off-grid in a van or a boat or a man cave or your shed in the garden, whatever it's going to be, then you're going to want solar input, and you can never have enough solar. So solar input restriction on this could be a bit of an issue. But of course, the compensator for that is, do you want to spend £1,800 on a big EcoFlow device or £1,100 on this AFERY? It's a big price difference. So for the faster charging and the less solar input, it's a very good battery system. And I've got to say, I feel confident in using it and handling it. Yes, the plastics on the outside aren't the nicest. Even the Allpower's S2000 looks and feels more ergonomic and more attractive in my mind. I don't like having all the sockets on the sides either. I prefer them all on the front, but they just haven't packaged it in that way. So all in all, it's a decent battery. It's a decent portable generator with the restrictions that I've mentioned. There's no app as well, so there's no Bluetooth, there's no app interface to see what's going on or to control it, and there's no switch to change the charging down lower. I wish there was some way of reducing the charge rate so it didn't charge at 1.1 kilowatts. If you could reduce that down to 300, 400, 500 watts, that would be plenty and a much better way of charging in my mind, because the lower the charge rate, the better you're protecting the batteries. So unless you're looking for really fast charging, lots of solar input from a bigger, more expensive device, I would consider this AFERY device. And yeah, I'm giving away one of the solar batteries that I've got soon. I haven't decided exactly which yet, but now that I like this a lot more, it's really put the cat amongst the pigeons as to which one to let go of. Maybe I could let go of the EcoFlow Delta 2, not necessarily the Max, but the Delta 2, because with this one it's almost as practical weight-wise for handling, but it's got more power and more storage. So it's a really good battery. Anyway, hope you enjoy these videos and my honest, genuine thoughts about the devices that I test and how I use them. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy these videos. See you again soon for more. Take care. Bye for now.